Hello, leaders. Dr. Patrick Jinks here, board certified leadership coach and president of the Leader's Perspective. Are you tired of having all your time sucked up at unproductive meetings? I'm talking about staff meetings, board meetings, or any other community meetings that you attend. I have 4 keys that should change the game. Let's cue it up. Okay, let's get right to it. Something I hear a lot from my clients is how amazed they are at how much productivity I'm able to get from their team during a meeting I'm facilitating. We've never been this productive before. We usually ramble around and take 2 hours and not accomplish anything. Or here's something I hear a lot. You got more out of our board today than we've gotten out of them in 3 years. And of course, I love hearing that, but it really isn't super magic sauce. It lies mostly in the fact that there is a facilitator. And in order to be an effective facilitator, the first thing the facilitator has to know is what the objective of the meeting is. When I know that, I have something to facilitate toward. I have a goal. I have an end to lead people toward. But it shouldn't be and doesn't have to be the case that the only time you have productive meetings is when some external professional facilitator comes in. Here are 4 keys for transforming your meetings, and you can do them all with a little discipline. Number 1 is purpose. If the meeting doesn't have a purpose, don't hold it. I think I heard somebody say one time something to the effect of the best meeting is the one not held because it wasn't needed, something like that. I've covered this concept previously on this channel, but I want to say it again here. Don't create an agenda of topics for your meetings. Topics are just that. They're just topics. They're something to talk about. And if talking is the objective of the meeting, then you're golden. But that shouldn't be the purpose of our meetings. So instead of building an agenda of topics, create an agenda of objectives. Ask yourself, what do we want to achieve in this meeting? Another way I like to ask it is, what do we want to walk away from this meeting having achieved? Here's one more way to ask it. What will this meeting achieve that we could not or would not have accomplished without the meeting? You get the point. It sounds simple enough, but I very, very rarely see top leaders ask those questions. When's your next board meeting? What would it be like to answer those questions? What would your meeting be like? And what would be on that agenda if those were the questions? Have a set of objectives in order to have a meaningful, worthwhile meeting. Next is preparation. Who prepares for your meetings and how? Imagine this. Let's use a senior staff meeting. Imagine that a facilitator has a system for collecting each team member's responses to the following questions in advance of the meeting. What do you need achieved at this meeting? Notice, not what do you want on the agenda or what do you need to talk about at this meeting. It's what do you need to achieve? Number 2, what do you believe the team as a whole needs to achieve, resolve, or decide at this meeting? And number 3, what do you or anyone else need in advance of the meeting in the way of resources or information that will ensure we meet the stated objectives? That's it. Of course, you can probably think of other questions that would help if you asked everybody in advance of the meeting. But the point is that everybody's involved in setting the meeting agenda based on objectives, and that there's mutual accountability for preparing. The third principle is, yes, facilitation. Meetings are more effective when someone is making sure the team is moving toward the objectives without distraction or derailment of the conversation. You don't have to be a dynamic speaker or a vision board guru to facilitate conversation, but someone needs to guide the conversation by asking the questions, clarifying the responses, getting commitment to the action. And if the facilitator, by the way, is your board chair, then a huge part of the preparation phase has to include preparing them to effectively facilitate to the objectives. And finally, follow up. How many meetings have you left where some action might have been articulated, but then you never hear anything more about it again? How does the team support each other in accountability on those actions? I'll leave you with a coaching question. How would you follow up? What ideas would make follow-up or any other phase I covered here more impactful? That's one leader's perspective for this week. As always, if you'd like to explore ways that the leader's perspective can help you or your team achieve greater clarity, simplicity, or alignment in your mission work through individual or team coaching, Reach out and schedule a free discovery call with me by clicking the link that's in the video description below this video. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and always remember to click the bell icon and be the first to know when new episodes drop. Lead on.